Good day everyone, I am Alexandra Idanker from Humss 12-2. Today, I would like to discuss the introduction of our research study. The title of our study is a correlational study about influence of peer in study habits of grade 12 students of Congressional Integrated High School. According to the Humss, peer pressure is a quite controversial matter today. It is the feeling that someone your own age is pushing you toward making certain choices, good or bad. This study explained the influence of peer pressure to the students or someone's life can be affect to their education. The peer pressure is the influence of peer over a group to an individual causing them to change their behavior, attitudes, and their value. This study explained that influence of peer pressure to the students or someone's life can be affect to their education. The peer pressure is the influence of peer, a group to an individual, causing them to change their behavior, attitude, and value. Simple overall success manifests through educational achievement in the educational parlance, which is the manifestation of addiction of a student to take a look at and that they are influenced and enhanced through in the flip. According to Sharma 2005, academic performance is a necessary evil, is a one kind of ability is rewarded economically and socially more than others. Peer is the direct influence by people. When a student goes through peer pressure, their ability to learn and performance at school can be stand in the way with no matter of their age or grade. Influence of peer in students' study habits may have serious unhealthy outcomes that need to be addressed. Developing a strong desire to fit in with their peers is tough. Poor academic performance is one of the causes of peer that they can experience. Lack of confidence, low self-esteem, and poor academic abilities are most likely to influence peer pressure that begins to present serious conflict, tension, and anxiety. This is the end of discussion of introduction. If you want to learn more on this topic, just keep on listening.
In our objectives, the researcher, aims to determine or to analyze the good and the bad indications of peer or influence of peer to the study habits of the participants. We need to determine the general effects of the influence of peer with regards to the study habits of the participants.
Good day, I'm Michelle Agustin from Humss 12-2 and I'm here to discuss to you the statement of the problem of our research, which highlights the two variables of the study, the peer group as independent variables and the study habits as dependent variables. These two ideas has direct connection to one another and will seek to find consistent and precise outcome as these following indicators such as age, sex, social status, and ethnicity will determine the positive or negative impact of peer group to the study habits of grade 12 students in Congressional Integrated High School. For the significance of the study, the following beneficiaries will allow them to understand, explore, and improve the existing study that will bring new ideas in the field of research. First, the study will help the researchers use it as a basis and further determine the potential effect of the study. Second, the students will become knowledgeable about the importance of choosing the right companion that will significantly give improvement to their study. Next, the teacher will also become knowledgeable about making effective and transformative approach to increase the potential ability of students to excel to their chosen field. And lastly, the parents who also influence their child will also learn how to deal with their child to give support and motivation to do his best in academics.
For scope and delimitation, the focus of this study is about the influence of peer in study habits of grade 12 students in Congressional Integrated High School. This represents about how the peer in study habits influence the student in grade 12. And for this study, the total respondents that we're gonna use are all 240 students enrolled in the strand Humanities and Social Science. For the main technique that we use in data gathering, to all our respondents, they all take the questionnaire that we create. And all action of our respondents have nothing to do with us. And we promise, as a researchers, we make sure that our respondents will remain private and anonymous.
Good day, I am Rizal Tabik from Humss and I'm here to discuss you our review of related literature. So, we just searched some relevant study from our topic and we're going to gain some information from that. So, I will read you some paragraphs in our review of related literature. So, here is adolescence is considered to be the most vulnerable age to peer pressure. During need to be famous or fit in is felt most intensely. So, some of millennials today are very fragile and very pressured. Generation Z thinks that we need to be on trend always. We need to be on this kind of platform. We need to be on that so that we can feel pressure. That's by Brown 2004. And that's very true. That's based on my experience. Next, negative effects. Yes, sometimes peer pressure can be led to the negative thoughts, negative effects. But most are impacted by undesirable actions of individual who resist what others do. By Golati 2017. As I said before, some people that are pressured are very fragile, are very near in negative things, negative thoughts that may be led on their actions. Maybe they will doing negative things that unconsciously. So we need to avoid that. Sometimes that's the factors. I'm not sure the term, but that's the effect of pressure. So in our conceptual framework, we just show you the factors of influence of peers that can affect the study habits of a student. We just put social life, personal goals, and health. That's the dependent things that can affect the academic or the study habits of a student. Academic performance or study habits. We just put the independent and the dependent. So we want to show you the factors that can affect.
And for the definition of terms of our study, here are some words that we use. The first one is peer influence. Peer influence is when you want to do something that you wouldn't do otherwise because your friends want you to feel welcome and respected. It's not just about doing anything against your will or you're always doing so. You might hear a lot of use of the word peer pressure. Next, peer pressure is the direct influence on people by peers, or the effect an individual who gets encouraged and wants to follow their peers by changing their attitude, values, and behavior to conform to those of influencing group or individual. The next one is peer group. Peer group is a social group and a primary group of individuals with similar preference, age, background, or social standing are also peer groups. Next, academic. Academic is based on the individual, a self-concept that he or she did in the academic performance. Next, habits. Habits is a behavioral routine that is constantly replicated and appears to occur subconsciously. And last one, adolescent behavior. Adolescent behavior is the people explore and assert personal identity, learn to navigate peer relationship, and transition to independence. It is associated with volatile emotion and boundary testing behavior.
Then, in our research design, we decided to do the correlational research design. We know that correlation study will help us to understand what kind of relationship that is naturally occurring on our variables. What is the relationship? What is the things that going to be the same with the influence of peer and the habits? What is the relationship? Why we're going to study that? Because we want to show you the things, and that is the correlational research design will help us to analyze the what we want to know more about our topic.
Good day everyone, I'm Carl Molina and I will going to discuss to you the respondents of the study. We researchers recognize that the target population of grade 12 senior high school student is available when the analysis is to be worked out. 240 of those students enrolled in the strand Humanities and Social Science and Congressional Integrated Senior High School were the sample that the study had. We researchers will ask for their free time to answer the research question and will value their preference in order to provide good connection and to gather data about the influence of peers and their study habits. For the research instrument, we will use descriptive online survey. The research questionnaires will be used to know the influence of peers to the study habits of the grade 12 Humss students. The study questionnaires vary from strongly disagree to strongly agree, with pilot testing and content validation of the questionnaire to evaluate the accuracy of the questionnaire. The questionnaires will go through pilot testing to investigate the viability of an approach planned to be used and content validate. The gathering procedures, we researchers make ready the survey questionnaires and we will send a request to our respondents by the use of Messenger. We will also send a descriptive online survey form to our respondents and we will receive the survey form from the respondents. After gathering all the questionnaires, we researchers gonna do the computations, analyze and interpret all the data that we gathered.
For statistical data, in order to act necessary data, research will use questionnaire. From that, deals with the level of agreement of participant through answering different options, from agree to strongly disagree. The research will use a correlational research method as finds a relationship between two variables. The main motive of research is to determine the relationship between two variables. Also, correlational research is a method that comes from after the fact by which it will identify that the phenomena of variables that has been conducted are occurred naturally.